This time we want to solve the equation 18m minus 27m squared is equal to 0. Again, everything, whenever you have a quadratic, in other words, something where the variable is squared, okay, and you want to solve an equation that has a squared variable in it, make sure that everything is on the left hand side of the equal sign, and on the right hand side you have 0. That's very, very important before we start. Okay, now this one is set up that way with everything to the left of the equal sign. So let's go through our steps. We're going to factor again by removing the GCF. So step A is to find the GCF of the numbers. So the factors of 18 and the factors of 27. Factors of 18 are 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6, and that's it. For 27, the factors of 27 are 1 times 27 and 3 times 9, and that's all we have for 27. Okay, so the biggest number that appears on both lines here, you have a 3 on both lines, you have a 1 on both lines, but the biggest number that appears on both lines is 9. Okay, so the GCF of 18 and 27 is 9. Okay, move on to step B. And step B is to write out any letter that appears in both and the smallest part of that letter. Well, M appears in both parts, in every term. In every term. Obviously not the 0 term, but we're not interested in that. It appears in every term. We're talking about the terms that are on the left hand side. And the smallest part of M that's there is just M. Okay, we have an M and an M squared, so the smallest part is M. So that's what we're interested in, the smallest part of that letter. Step C. Step C is to combine our answers from step A and step B. So the GCF of the original expression, of the entire original expression, is the expression that's on the left hand side of the equation. Just combine these two and you get 9m. 9m. Okay, so now we're going to divide each of the original terms, 18m and negative 27m squared. We're going to divide those by what we have in step C, 9m. So we're going to divide here by 9m. Okay. And if we do that, 18 divided by 9 is 2, and the m's will cancel. Okay, so that's just 2, and then we have a minus. 27 divided by 9 is 3, and m squared divided by m, remember, for the letters we subtract the powers, so 2 take away 1 is just 1, so m to the power of 1, or just m. Okay, from now on we're not going to use powers of 1, we're just going to say m. Right, the last step on this part of the problem is step E, and this is to complete our factoring. We put our result from step D, we put it in parentheses, 2 minus 3m. We're going to write that in parentheses. And the result of step C, 9m, we put outside the parentheses. Okay, so those are the factors. Okay, so the factors of 18m minus 27m squared are 9m and 2 minus 3m. Okay, so those are the factors. But our problem was more involved in that. It had another step. We had to solve the equation. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to solve that equation right now. Okay, so if we try to solve the equation, the original equation was 18m minus 27m squared equals 0. And we're going to rewrite that with what we have in step E, because these two things are the same as one another. Okay, so instead of writing it as 18m minus 27m squared, equals 0, we're going to write it as 9m times 2 minus 3m equals 0. And now we'll put both parts of this equal to 0. So we'll have 9m equals 0 and 2 minus 3m equals 0. Okay. Right, if you want the m on its own, this is 9 times m, so you divide both sides by 9. And you get 9m divided by 9 is equal to 0 over 9. Now these 9's will cancel, and that just gives you m. 0 divided by anything is 0. So there's your first answer, m equals 0. Over here, you have 2 minus 3m. Now, we're back to m's. There are no squareds anymore. So what you want is you want the letter on one side, numbers on the other side. Okay? When you're back to just a single letter without a square, you want to separate variables and numbers. So if we move the 3m across, that gives you 2 is equal to, move the negative 3m across, change its sign, becomes plus 3m. And if that's 3m, let's divide both sides by 3. So you get 2 divided by 3 is equal to 3m divided by 3. You divide by whatever is attached to your letter. And that gives you 2/3 is equal to m. And those are our two answers. Now, you may have noticed that in example 1 and in example 2, we had x equals 0 and now m equals 0 as results. And that may lead you to think that 0 is always going to be one of the solutions. And in these type of questions it is. In these type of questions it is, but it's still worth working it out because you still need to know what the other one will be. And you have to work it to completion to get that. But you'll know that you're on the right track if you have m equals 0 or x equals 0, y equals 0 as one of your answers. Okay, we'll do one more and that's going to be it for this section.